The Christmas Eve return that saved SpaceX and changed space history. That's where it all began. SpaceX was about to disappear. 3 failed launches, funds nearly gone, credibility lost. Elon Musk had a choice: save Tesla or save SpaceX. He couldn't handle both. But at the very last second, when everything looked dead, a call changed it all. NASA went with him, and on Christmas Eve, SpaceX came back to life. That contract wasn't just about money, it was the push to build the future. From there, everything changed. The goal wasn't just launching rockets, it was colonizing Mars. But how do you go from 3 failed launches to setting foot on another planet? Before continuing, remember to leave me your like and subscribe to continue seeing more content like this. Elon Musk had a brutal philosophy: fail fast, iterate faster. Instead of spending years planning, he launched rockets, blew them up, learned, fixed, launched again. Others saw bugs. He saw beta versions, and that's how he built the most ambitious ship ever designed, Starship. A stainless steel beast, giant, reusable, carrying more than 100 tons of cargo, designed to take off, land, and do it all again. No need to build a new one every time. Nothing looks like it, not even NASA's rockets. This is another league. Why all this effort? Because Mars isn't a Sunday walk. We're talking about a hostile, dry, frozen, and distant planet. For Musk, it's the only viable option if humanity wants to survive long-term. It is not space tourism, it's about survival. And this is where Starship becomes key. No current ship can carry so many people, so much cargo, and come back. Traditional missions are expensive, slow, limited. Musk wants frequent flights, full of resources, to build a permanent base. And that only works if launches feel like commercial flights. But getting there hasn't been easy. Starship testing has been a blast fest. Failed landings, engines shutting down mid-flight, fires on the pad. Each test was a new disaster, but also one step closer. Because instead of waiting for perfection, SpaceX launches first, improves later. And that's exactly what changed everything. While other space agencies move forward with bureaucracy, Musk charges ahead. SpaceX has reduced launch costs to ridiculous levels. And not only that, they're recycling rockets. Literally, throw them, recover them, reuse them. That's never been done this efficiently. Starship represents the next leap. Because sending robots isn't enough, Musk wants to send humans. Not for a short mission, for good. He wants to build a colony, a self-sustaining settlement, crops, energy, water, protection from radiation, a real city on Mars. But there's a problem: gravity, atmosphere, resources. Everything gets harder out there. That's why every test with Starship counts. It's not just a rocket, it's the foundation of the whole plan. If this fails, there is no Mars. And yet Musk keeps betting. While others laugh, he keeps pushing. And not only that, he's moving at a crazy pace. Nobody iterates this fast. Nobody tests with that much risk. Nobody else dares to blow up their own rockets just to learn. Only SpaceX. And it's already paying off. Starship has achieved successful flights, controlled landings, structural improvements, engine upgrades, better thermal protection, each version stronger than the last. No longer just a promise, a reality on the move. And they don't do it on a whim. The timeline is clear. Test flights first, then orbital missions, lunar missions to test in a nearby environment, and finally, when everything is polished, Mars. But it won't be a single flight. Musk wants to launch dozens, carry structures, habitats, solar panels, 3D printers, life support systems. Everything you need to build something real. Not a science station, a city, with people living, working, and creating there. Here's the craziest part. He doesn't see it as something far off. Every step SpaceX takes brings us closer to that goal. He's not talking centuries. He's talking decades. At this rate, Starship could make its first crewed flight to the Red Planet much sooner than anyone imagined. The best part? It no longer sounds crazy. What used to be a source of ridicule just a few years ago is now a reference. Engineers, scientists, investors, Everyone is watching because SpaceX isn't just changing the game, it's creating a new one with its own rules, with a brutally clear vision. Here's the strongest truth. Musk doesn't want to be the only one. He wants others to follow him. He wants to lead the way because he knows colonizing Mars won't be a personal achievement. It'll take a team effort. And the more companies, governments, and people join in, the faster it will happen. That's why he shares so much data, broadcasts every launch live, and shows every mistake. He's convinced this isn't a competition, it's a mission. And if Starship succeeds, everything will change. From how we explore space to how we understand our place in the universe, everything could change. If Starship completes its mission, Mars won't just be that tiny red dot in the sky anymore. It won't be some sci-fi dream or just a backdrop for documentaries. It'll be real, a real option, a second home. And of course, it won't be a comfortable home at first. Mars isn't friendly, it's cold, dry, with no breathable air and harsh radiation. But even with all that, it's still possible. Hard, yes, challenging, definitely, but not impossible. And that's what separates dreamers from those who take action. Elon Musk is clear. Earth isn't eternal. It's not invincible. Just look at how we've treated it. Climate crisis, overpopulation, limited resources. The future isn't guaranteed. And just staying here, crossing your fingers, that's not a plan. That's why he's all in. That's why SpaceX never slows down. While others focus on sustainable development, Musk looks much further ahead, way beyond. It's not just about preserving what we have, it's about multiplying our options, pushing the boundaries, not relying on just one planet. You don't get there by playing it safe. Another world isn't built with fear. It takes an almost irrational vision, a hunger for risk, the ability to fail again and again, and keep going. This is where SpaceX's brutal philosophy shines. Fail fast, learn faster. Every explosion teaches something. Every failed landing leads to improvement. They don't hide their mistakes, they show them live. Because true progress comes from iteration, from trying again and again, and never stopping. Today's Starship isn't just a rocket, it's the most powerful vehicle ever built. Bigger than anything that's come before, more ambitious than any mission to date, and most importantly, it's reusable. Designed to go and return over and over again. But tomorrow it could be so much more. It could be the first ship to another world, the one that brings the first humans to start something completely new. Not just a visit for a few days, not a symbolic flag. We're talking about a base, a structure, a settlement where people can live, work, and build. And that's not just engineering, that's history. Because when that happens, it won't just be a SpaceX achievement. It'll be a giant leap for humanity, a moment that changes everything, from our dreams to our priorities. It won't be about exploring Mars anymore. It'll be about living there. And it's crazy to think all of that started with a single call on Christmas Eve, a contract that arrived when no one believed, when SpaceX was on the edge of collapse. And today, years later, it's still the spark behind the biggest change we might ever see as a species. All thanks to an idea that once seemed impossible. But impossible, it's just the beginning. That's all for now. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Also, don't forget to subscribe, share, leave your like, and activate the notification bell to have more content like this.